Yo, what's up, everybody? OCD Mikey, Hi-Fi Guy here for another edition of Fireside Chat with Mikey. Welcome, everybody. Welcome. Beautiful day here in Atlanta today. I went and rode the Ducati almost all day. It was excellent. Great day for motorcycling. It's not too hot here. It's still very nice. And I got my new cigars too that came in. These are the latest Tatuaje limited T110s, Corojo limited editions. And I got some other interesting little sticks to enjoy. So anyways, welcome everybody to the live stream. I am going to leave it open. And then this coming week, I'll start a little more structure. But for now, I don't feel like it. So I'm not going to do it. I'm just going to let you guys bring up whatever you want to. I'm giving the show to you guys. You guys get to steer it. Hey, folks, get Mikey. So what you meant to say? What is it like? What was that movie? Can't remember. Get Charlie, get whatever. Vooch, what's up, buddy? Good to see you, man. How are you? Vooch has my old monoblock. Well, no, you've got the Magma M's. Vooch has one of the few pair of Magma M monoblocks in the United States. I've got the other pair, Vooch, the one that I have. Last week it sold to Texas, so we will have a location in Dallas with the Fisher & Fisher 470s and the Magma M's. And I think he's got a Lampezator DAC, so it won't have the MPD8 rather. But we do have an MPD8 going to Oklahoma, so there will be one in Oklahoma. As a fellow non-drinker, what are your top three fake beers? Corona in a can is one. The Stella Artois in a can is pretty good. You know, in a weird way, I like the ones in the can better than the ones in the bottle because they taste more like a cheap beer or whatever, like a Suds, you know, if you will. Bush, as stupid as it sounds and as shitty as that beer is, Bush in a can. I haven't had it in a long time, but I did like it. I haven't tried the Silver Bullet. I think there's a Coors now. There's more and more that keep popping up. But most of the imports, like in bottles, I'm not that into them. There's one that I like that's called, I think it's La Chouffée or something like that. It's a Belgian ale. It's not an ale. It's a Belgian beer. I think it's like a Pilsner. That one was really good. There's only one place they sell it at the Whole Foods up like 20 minutes away, you know, or something like that. That one was really good. Just came across some new music. Moses So Still. I'm stoked about this new to me music. Just ordered a CD from Discogs. Why do you order CDs, Vooch? Do you not have a streamer? Because I don't know anybody that buys CDs. Is it like old out of print? Let me see if my phone can find it. Moses So Still. I'll see. We'll look at Qobuz right now and see if you could just get it for your monthly thing. Maybe not. Mozez. So Still. So Still album by Moses. It's right here. So you can stream it, bro, and you don't have to buy anything and wait for it to be delivered. That's the next thing. That's the next thing. But Vooch, I need to bring you up to speed. I need to bring you up to speed on streaming if you haven't done it. I know you love it, and it doesn't mean you have to leave your records. You know, you can just stream anyways. Patrick George, hello from OK. Okay. You know, Patrick, we've got a new location going into Oklahoma, where you can hear Fisher and Fisher 570s and MPS 8. This guy's getting the $33,000 MPS 8. It's going to ship in 2 weeks. He just ordered it today. But yeah, I got to make sure that he wants. I have to vet. We got to vet our people first, and then if you're part of the tribe, you can go visit, man, and listen. He is in. I'm trying to remember where in Oklahoma he is. I'm not gonna remember off the top of my head. But it's Oklahoma, bro. So hooray! Because I don't know that there's many hi-fi audio systems out there now. Also, another thing too, Patrick, if you're into used equipment, he has Luke is his name. He's got a bunch of used stuff that he would gladly sell to you, and some of it just needs a little repair too. So if you can repair things, even better. If you want his information, I can ask if it's okay if then you just call me at 11 stereo and I'll put you in touch with him. You can drive by his place and get some killer things to set up. Bradley, what's up, buddy? You buy CDs? Why do you guys buy CDs for? I can't remember the last time I bought a CD. Why do you guys buy them? And Patrick buys them too. Why? Still using an Audio Quest Cobalt Dragonfly DAC with Qobuz through the MacBook Air. Okay, so CD sounds way better than those little things, right? Because if you can stream, if you have the ability to stream and you have a DAC and you're still choosing CDs, then I understand why. It's because it's not up to snuff. Your other stuff isn't up to snuff, I would guess. But why else? I buy CDs every day. You do, really? It's so weird to me. You want to buy my fucking CDs? I've got like 1,000 classic rock killer fucking CDs. I'll sell them. You know, who wants to buy CDs? I'll sell you guys. How about I sell you CDs every day? That would be cool. Where are you anyways, Rachel? You're not in New York anymore, right? And you should just give me a call sometime and chat. Where in Oklahoma? Yeah, that's what. Okay, so let me see. Luke is in. Let me find out. See, I'll pull this up. He is in Broken Arrow. That's right. He's watching right now. What's up, Luke? He's watching right now. He just sent me a text. Broken Arrow. He's a car guy. You should have seen the Mustang today. A guy came. I think I did the short, and I think I made it public with a GT 500. He's had it since 2011. He ordered it and ordered all the colors and everything. It's black with a red stripe. Built engine. I mean, he popped the hood and I was like, geez, the engine's like, it actually did have a scoop now that I think about it to allow, it had a hump in the hood to allow that engine to fit under there, the supercharger and everything, pushing like 600 and change. I'm not a Ford guy, but that was a cool Ford. It was really pretty too, a convertible GT 500. So yeah, Broken Arrow. Okay, so Vooch says, I like to own physical media. I don't use the CD player much, so the CD is an excuse to turn it on. Oh, okay, so you're bored. I will be streaming the Moses release on Qobuz as well. Okay, so it's just sort of a not really needed thing, but you just want to have it for your collection. Just sort of a collectible. We do that, man. We do that from our age group, Vooch. We collect shit and just keep stacking it up. You know, that was the thing. It's not a modern way to do things. The kids now do not do it. Both your kids probably don't do it, Vooch. They probably want as little shit as possible. You know, it's interesting. It makes sense. If I could get rid of, I'm going to purge almost all my shit. And it's coming, you guys. Charles is going to be here next week, and we're going to spend a week, maybe 2 weeks, going through every single piece of gear that I have here. It's all going to be all my stash, my personal stash, man. I have collected rare, cool, unique things, man, that I just can't use anymore. I've just got too many. It kept building, building, building. So only if less than $1 nostalgia. Okay, so collection. Yep, I get it. I have over 1,800 and the collection is growing. Oh my god. That just gives me agita thinking about 1,800 pieces of plastic that I gotta hold on to. I have my boxes. Where are my boxes right now? Oh yeah, they're out in the barn. I've got like 5, 6 box fulls of I probably got 1,000 CDs, my whole collection. I never use them. They just get tucked away. If I were to listen to CDs, what would happen is it would greatly instantly limit my listening, and I would put a stack next to the CD player of the ones that sounded good because bad CDs are unlistenable and bad streaming isn't. So all of a sudden, I'd have a stack next to my CD player of the things that I listened to over and over again. The stack would be no more than 50 CDs deep, and that would limit my listening to 50 CDs. That's how I used to listen, which is it's pretty limiting and kind of sad. Yes. Steve Ness still buys CDs. What for, Steve? Do you play CDs? Okay, do it. Holler at a brother. Hartford, that's right. Hartford. You're an engineer, right? Um, Less than $1 and I'll buy. Okay, I got it. How much for your CDs? Man, I don't know. You know, what do they sell for? I have no idea. What do they sell for each? What if you go to like, let's just say you go to a record store. If you go to a record store and there are used CDs of like Sergeant Pepper's, White Album, shit like that, like all the classics, whatever, that are in perfect condition, what do they sell for? I stream, but I prefer CDs and vinyl. Why? Um, I'm in Oklahoma too. Oh shit. We got a posse up there, man. There's 3 of you right now, man. You guys know where Broken Arrow is? Old Fords for Patrick. Okay, you got a pony car or what, brother? Or a T-Bird, man. I like the old T-Birds, the 57, 58, 50. The sharp fin one. Those are cool, man, with that little, what do they call that? Vanity window or Vogue window, vanity window, the little round thing back there. That car so captures the essence of that time period, I think, in an iconic way more than any other car from that time period. Like even maybe those old Corvettes kind of really did too. The ones that had that different color, whatever they call that thing, the panel, the thing that came off the front fender. Hey, from Fort Worth, what's up, David? David, you're going to have a pretty kick-ass rig. You know about it. It's already Thomas's rig is shipping, man. His speakers should be there already, and his amps ship out this coming week. You're going to be able to hear these speakers. I've got a pair next week of 670s going out. By the way, thank you everybody for the business. I mean, people keep getting the Fisher and Fishers and are just freaking mind blown by them. Let me show you most recent. Went to New Jersey this week. Let's see, we're received by him. Let me find his thing. Well, let's see, and I'll find you some pictures so you can see how people set these up. Just to give you guys ideas of different rooms where the Fishers are. Okay, so here are 470s that just went to New Jersey. Trying to make it focus on that. Come on. That's hard to make it focus. Trying to get it to focus. Anyways, you can see what that looks like. Those are the 470s. He replaced Danny Ritchie in Exoticas. And he said immediately, they're not even broken in. He said sounds more realistic and natural. They better, because I think they're more expensive. But that's what went in here. He went, I think, from, what are in Exoticas? Are they like $3,000 speakers, $4,000, $8,000 speakers? He over doubled his. He really stepped up into some 470s, and he's super happy with them. The other one, can I show your room, Lukey? Is that all right? We want to show Luke. Luke went, and Luke's got a posse, man. He hangs out with the posse. You got to tell me who all the peeps were in the image. Let's see. Luke put 570s in his bedroom, man. He ain't messing around. Luke was like, I'm going for it. I'm going for it, man. You only live once, and I'm going to do it right. And Luke has been through a lot of gear. You know what, Luke? I won't show your room unless you tell me it's okay, because maybe you want to, make a proper image or whatever. So I'm not going to, I won't show up. But Luke's got 570s in his bedroom. And he's about ready to go to it. Luke's going to the top two. I've got a handful of guys that come on and immediately they go right to the top. They don't stop anywhere in between. And they're going to check it off the list. They're never going to have to buy speakers again. They're never going to have to buy a DAC again. They're taken care of. And Luke is getting the MPS 8, which is everything in one. He'll have a complete front end solution in one box. And then he'll just need an amp. He'll have one Playback Designs, one amp if he wants one amp, and two speakers. It's a beautiful, beautiful setup. It's so simple and so good. Luke, you're going to be calling me to thank me. You're going to be all giggly when you hear it. Actually, the Dragonfly sounds much better than my CD player. I wonder, because it's newer, maybe your Dragonfly is newer. However, if I put my Cardis Clear interconnects on the CD player head to head with the same release, the CD player beats the Dragon. Oh my God. So how do I unpack that? So the interconnects make your CD player better. That's what you're telling me? That's just weird. Yeah, that's weird. I mean, I get that it shouldn't make or break. It shouldn't. It shouldn't be like, well, this thing beats that thing, but if I put cables on this one, then it beats the other one. That's really weird. That would bother me. That would bother me. David plays CDs too. Why? Why do you guys play CDs? What the hell? It's like a pain in the ass. What for? What is just because like it's what you know and you haven't graduated out of it yet? I used to play CDs too for a long time until someone brought a laptop over and my CD player had a USB input because it was a CD player that could be a DAC too, right? And someone brought their shit ass laptop over and played a Rolling Stones tune, and it kicked the shit out of my $6,000 CD player at the time. And I was done. I was like, I can't unhear that. You just beat my $6,000 CD. Well, I mean, it was the same DAC, right? So it was either the transport feeding that DAC, or it was the that was on board, or it was his laptop feeding the DAC, and the laptop beat it. I was like, damn it, dude. Why'd you do that to me? Because I knew what it meant. It meant I was going to have to get rid of all my CDs. I was going to have to bring a computer in, figure out. And remember, back in the day when I adopted streaming was not like it is now. Streaming now is plug and play. It's easy as shit. You just put a streamer up, you plug it in, you put the internet into it, you get your Qobuz or your whatever going, and you're playing music. Back in the day when I started with streamers, they were damn computers, and you'd have to go in and you'd have to map drives and do all sorts of shit. And it took work. And furthermore, I was making them for other people and selling them And then I had to do support, which was a freaking nightmare, man. I remember very well one guy, I sold him a streamer, and I could do this, and I was willing to do this for people. I would never be willing to do it now, but at the time, I was. This is how willing I was to assist be of service. I sent a guy. I would tell people these are these older dudes that would be like, I don't know computers, and I'd be like, don't worry about it. I'll teach you on the phone. Just buy this thing, and I'll teach you. And they'd say, okay. So they'd buy $4,000 computer that I made for him at the time. These little cool little. I've got one. Where is it? No, it's not right there. But anyways, I'd make him these cool little servers, man. And and I remember this guy. I call him up, and he's ready to do. Okay, I'm ready to go. Help me set this up. Okay, no problem. I get on the phone with him, and I say, okay, turn on your computer. He turns on his laptop. I say, open up a browser. He goes, what's a browser? I was like, oh God, this is going to take a while. I had the patience back then to walk a person through that did not know what a browser was. That was the level of person that I would teach how to stream. Ridiculous. I would never have the patience or be able to do it nowadays, especially not for $4,000. And but I did that a lot. And then when someone's network would be squirrely, and their network would be acting up, and they'd always call, I can't see the streamer. I can't get Rune to see my streamer or whatever. And I'd go, well, go to the back and look at your streamer and look where the Ethernet plug goes in. Okay. Where the cable goes in. Is there a green light flashing, flickering? Yeah, there is. Okay. Streamer's working. Okay. So it's not my job now to get you on your network. It's your network administrator's job. You really. But I would sit there with them. I would go on to a shared screen thing, like I can't remember the app that was the screen share thing, but I would come on and go onto their computer, and I would go into their Windows network settings, and I would fix their network for them. I'm not even a computer guy, but during those years, I learned it, and I did it, and it was nuts. But that's what a pain in the ass streaming was when I first started. There was an excuse why you didn't want to do it. You would hang on to your CDs because it's too much work to learn how to stream, right? Now it's like simple, man. So why do you guys stream? Is just because it's left over? You just haven't graduated out of it, that you just sort of stick with the status quo, David? Why? Hey, Mikey. Hey, Tribe. Hope everyone is doing well. Yes, we are doing great. Thanks, Dan. What is that? Is that you, dude? Is that like a bodybuilder? Looks like it. My first CD was The Cure, The Head on the Door in 1985 for $18.99. Can you believe that? 1985. Think how much money that was, bro. $21.56. How the fuck do you know that? You know how much tax was back then? Dude, like you are OCD. That is $62 in 2025. That's right, man. Can you believe it? Holy shit, that's right. I remember they were, dude, I worked at a record store. We sold them. I thought we sold most of them for like $14. You're right. They were like $14.99, most of them. Maybe they were the premium ones were $18.99. It wasn't 1985 though. I was in like 1995 when I was selling CDs. I have a lot of old Fords as well. What do you got, Patrick? Tell us. Inquiring minds want to know. Do you got a Torino? That's what I want to know. You got a GT? And is that even a Ford Grand Torino? Or was that a like a Pontiac? Let's see. I'm trying to remember. Ford. It is a Ford. Yeah, dude. Grand Torino, dude. You got a Grand Torino? That thing's badass. Like man, what year? This one right here. with that open, no front bumper, dude. That open scoop in the front, that open nose. 72 like Gran Torino with that pinched rear kind of. 72 looks like a good year for the Torino, man. Torino GT, man. What do you got, buddy? You got a T-Bird? I still have CDs, fun to spin the disc. It's what's fun about it. No, I mean, I just want to know, like, it doesn't sound fun to me. It sounds anti-fun. What is fun? What is fun about it? You can't watch it. So what is fun about it? Honestly, I'm curious. I seek to understand. That is what I do with vinyl. What do you do with it? Watch it spin? That you can watch vinyl spin. The Moses is a promo copy. That was the draw. I only have about 50 CDs total. Oh, okay. Okay, so it was just kind of a little thing, just a little retail therapy for the day. I go through that every once in a while. I'm like, I want to buy something. What do I need to buy? What can I figure out? You know, what do I need for my motorcycle? What type of motorcycle gear can I buy? You know, and then I'll just get on and shop for a little while, you know, for something. Oh, by the way, I should have, for all you watch guys that are out there, I should have my Reverso this week. I've got my eye on a Reverso, and I'm gonna trade my Wimbledon Rolex. Rolex, I can't groove with Rolex, man. It kind of sucks because I bought it for 11,000, and to go and trade it in to the watch guy, they'll give me fucking 7,500 for it. So the whole Rolex thing is diving. They're not going up the way they were during COVID. You know, I think it was an inflated price at 11 grand anyways, but I ended up trading it for Hi-Fi, which had profit in it. So I paid a lot less. I'm still making some on it, but if I would have just gotten paid cash for the deal, I would have had more in the end, but I don't care. It's a beautiful piece too. If anybody wants it, because I'm going to trade it. They'll give me $7,500. If someone wants to give me 8 grand, you can have what they will sell for 10. You can have a Rolex that's $2,000 undervalued from market. I bought it for 11. The market's gone down for a little bit, so it's probably worth 10 right now. I saw them for 10. It's brand new, unworn. I wore it twice, and I just couldn't vibe with Rolex. It's got all the links. It's got the box, all the papers except for the warranty card. 0 scratches. It's mint, and I'll sell it for 2 grand under market. If somebody wants a sweet Rolex for 8 grand, do it. And then I'll get 500 more than those jackasses will give me. But right on, Brad. Yeah, buddy. Less than $1. Less than $1. Yeah, if they're less than $1, I'm not. I mean, it's not worth it to me. I'll keep them just in case Armageddon happens. What up, tribe? CDs, vinyl, SACD, Blu-ray, audio. Bring it all on. Okay, I'm an anti. I've already got media. I've got analog media, and that's all that I want, dude. It's probably five. It's got to be more than 500 pounds of it in my room. It takes up way too much space. You said that 3 times. You love it all. Okay. Usually 4 for $10. Okay, so 250 a piece in a record store. $2 or less at Goodwill, but that will be cherry picked shit most likely. 4 for $10, so it's just 50 cents more. Yeah, we used to sell used CDs for $10 in the 90s, and we used to buy them for 5. And that was great because your friend would come in. If we knew the person that was selling, we would just give them $5 for all their titles. But typically, if we already had 5 copies in inventory, we would give them like $2, $3. $1 to $10 each. Huh, interesting. You're in Jay, Oklahoma. never heard of it, but it probably has good corn and good beef. I'm sure you guys got ranches out there, right? Livestock and shit. Like I'm sure you get good steaks. Don, what do you mean, Steve? Wow, Dark Star Orchestra. Oh, you can read it? Yeah, that's right. I got DSO right behind me. That's DSO. That's Bowie. Bowie zombie. This is DSO. This is Ramones right there. That's Joey Ramone. That is like a 1950s zombie, whatever. I got Zappa Hot Rats down there, over there, Zappa Hot Rats. This is DSO. There's Floyd, Dark Side. And this is Aliens from New Mexico. Alien Skellies. And I've got another cool dead one up there. Nothing left to do but smile, smile, smile. It's like a skelly. But I think there's like, if I do put that up there, it's like too many skellies and ghouls and shit. I need to find something else. $5. Okay, so you think $5? I could sell them. I would sell them for $5. Someone wants to buy my collection. I would sell them for $5. That would be worth it. $1, I don't really care. You have 358 Fords, but 50. What were they just called Fords? Did they only make one car in 58? No, they made more. 55 Crown, 259 Mercs. Ooh, two-door hardtop wagons. Cool. 59 Mercury, two-door wagon. 59. What's the condition on those things? Are they pre-resto or post-resto? Oh, look at that thing, man. That looks like a Falcon. It's got that same side. Your 59 Merc looks like it's got Falcon side lines. Those. It reminds me of a Falcon. Yeah, you could sort of make I wonder if they got any customs, custom or hot rod. See how it looks as a hot rod. Oh, yeah, they're better off. They're better kept in. Oh, there's one. Interesting. Huh. Cool stuff, man. Hello, Mikey. Hello, Tribe. Clark checking in from Oahu. What's up, brother? Good to see you. Roscoe, finally bought a streamer. There you go. What'd you get? I'm using Tidal. Does anyone know if the additional $10 a month for the higher resolution is worth it? I'm currently using the $10.99 basic subscription. I don't know. I don't know if it's worth it. I do it anyways. I'm just like, whatever the best is, give it to me. Opera window. Oh, that's what it's called. Opera window. Okay. Yeah, that's right. Lawrence. Okay. Larry is in, and he said it's okay if I show the room. Okay. But I mean, the picture that I have isn't really, it doesn't show totally. Let's see. Luke. Okay. Let's see. Where is it? Is this one? No, that's not it. No, let's see. Luke. I think it's just sort of it's not a real straight on shot. It's kind of off to the side. You guys, you can see them, but we could probably do something a little more of a straight on shot. Let me see if I can find it. There it is. Luke's baby rig. Okay. We can get a better one, but there's Luke's 570s in his beautiful big ass bedroom with huge tall ceilings and beams up there. Those are 570s. Those things absolutely crush. I mean, Luke has had not the best time getting his old gear working. So I don't know how well, if you've even been able to listen, Luke, but you are going to shit yourself when you fire those up. Brad, yes, you want high res. High res what? Vinyl sounds the most organic and natural. Man, you need to come to my place. You need to come to my place. There is nothing more organic than Mikey's system. I mean, I have a guy today who is an accomplished musician, and he played woodwinds, and he heard a harmonica and he was like, he shit himself. He's like, I've never heard the wood in a harmonica, and I could hear the wood in the harmonica. He was blown away. Absolutely couldn't believe it. There's nothing, um, I'd love to bring vinyl folks that still don't really believe in digital to my place so they can listen, because it rearranges your reference. It's a good reference to have, just a point of reference. Greetings from Chicago. What's up, Zigga Dig Dig? Good to see you, man. Have you ridden the bike lately, bro? I used to stream and just prefer CDs. Why? Tell us. Because why? Because they're more work? Obviously not, but they are more work. Because they sound better? That would be the only acceptable thing, I would imagine. Unless you tell me I like going slow. I like opening plastic boxes. I like rifling through rows and rows of titles, and then I would go, wow, we're wired different. But there's nothing wrong with it. Monthly bill, no thanks. What's monthly bill? I don't think anybody should. I don't even accept. I don't even let people put shit on credit cards. Not only do I not offer financing, which I think is encouraging, it's like me offering you a crack hit. Oh, you can't afford it? We'll finance it. That's just, it's too desperate from a sales guy's standpoint to offer to try and convince you that if you don't have the money, that you should make payments on your fucking audio system. Like, that's ridiculous. But look at these dealers, and all of them will have a firm do your finance your fucking audio system. Dude, they should be ashamed of themselves for trying to tell you that you should finance your audio system. So not only that, but you can't even pay me with a credit card, because I figure if you don't have the fucking money in the bank, don't make a credit card bill. Why? Because I don't want people to be stressed out, you know? Everybody that pays me cuts me checks, or wires transfers, I don't even, so there is no monthly bills with Mikey. I don't believe, I'm with you. I don't encourage it. I don't believe in it, and I don't even support it. You can't even pay for my shit using a monthly bill. I won't even allow it. So I know it's weird, huh? How does Mikey survive? I must be selling the shit out of stuff, because I don't take trade-ins. I don't sell headphones. I don't sell vinyl. I don't advertise. I don't finance. I don't take credit cards, but I'm fucking killing it. I'm doing as many sales as a dealer network does. Like, for the brands that I import, they can't believe the amount of sales that I do. They're beside themselves. Why? Because I take care of people, and because I know my shit. And, it's funny. People say, oh, somebody might not like that sound. Sound is a personal thing. Well, yes, it is, right? As long as you're happy, that's all that matters. Okay. But I'll tell you what, there's nobody that's going to come into my room here and say it doesn't sound good. Nobody. I don't care what your damn taste is. You're not going to, you wouldn't. So there are systems that no matter what, they're going to sound fucking good to everybody, period. That's all there is to it. Now, people may like a little bit of this or a little bit of that, maybe in their own rig. Somebody wants something more analytical, typically, if that's the only other thing that I guess people go after that I don't like. Um, but people are blown away by it. They're not like, oh, not my style of sound. And the audio rooms that I do at the shows consistently rated the best rooms at the shows. So how could it be that I'm always associated with systems that sound great? Well, because I know my shit and I make it sound organic and real. Why is that? Because I'm passionate about music. I'm not just here for the business. So I agree. Monthly bill, no thanks. Just started using Tidal. Does anyone know if that? Oh yeah, we said. Does anybody? Yes, it's worth it. They say rip CD sounds better than the same music on a spinning disc. Do you have any experience with testing that theory? I do, as a matter of fact, and it is true because there's jitter associated with a CD spinning. It's a laser pickup and it's a CD spinning. If you're playing back ripped, you're playing from memory. You're playing from chips. It's SSD, solid state. So there's not the jitter thing or the inaccuracy of the laser picking up the reading the disc. You only really need to do that one time, and that's to put it into a file. And then the file can be shared and it never loses resolution. So so yes, it's true. The RIP CD does sound better. And it's weird too, playing back shitty CDs, like CDs that are shitty, when you play them back on a CD player, they're freaking unlistenable. Like bad CDs, you can't, they're horrible. But you can rip that thing and then listen to it play back, and something about it, it doesn't sound the same. Don't ask me why, but I have tested the theory. Um, and yes, a CD rip does sound better than streaming, but it's so close that it's not even worth it. I skip around too much when I'm streaming, but it's good to find new bands for sure. I find new music and buy physical copies of it if it's all possible. I'm a collector. Okay, so that fully makes sense because you're a collector and you value collections. You like to go to your shelf and, flip your finger through things that you can touch, which I get it. I get it. In many ways, I'm that way with cigars. I've got way too many, and I age them. What else do I collect? Firearms, but I'm not that crazy about them. I mean, I don't have like 200 of them. I've got friends that are retarded about their firearms. What else do I collect? Motorcycles. I've got 5 right now. I just sold 3 of them. I have 5 left. What else do I collect? Um, Certain things I'm just one and done, but I go high level with them, like a lighter, for instance. I bought, a ST DuPont. I don't collect. I don't really collect watches. I've got 5. Is that a collection? Maybe, but they're for different. I guess that's a collection. Um, yeah. So I guess people collect different things for different reasons. In your comments, my name appears as Lawrence Massey, also known as Luke. Yeah, right. So for those that aren't clear, Lawrence Massey here is the guy in Broken Arrow, Oklahoma. And you got Patrick with all the Fords, and we got Johnson right there too. I have a good CD transport with my MPD3 and sounds better than the streamers I have tried. Did you try streamers with your MPD3? I have 800 CDs and I play and enjoy my collection. Can't support streaming. Okay, so yeah, you're just you want what's if it ain't broke, don't fix it. That's kind of your I guess your sort of your outlook, which is yeah, that's cool, man. Cool, man. I mean, I would never. I bought like a wicked transport, and I started, $20,000 transport, and yeah, it sounded phenomenal, blah blah blah, whatever. And I went and I got CDs, and I had like a stack of CDs next to. I'm not putting a fucking CD rack in my audio room. I won't do it. So I have them in the closet. Then I go in closet and I pick them and I pull them out, and I'm just like, oh, this sounds shitty. I'm not going to listen to this one. Oh, this is a good sounding CD player. So after a little while, I've got a stack of like 20 CDs sitting on the shelf, ugly as hell, right next to my beautiful, $20,000 transport. I've got a stack of plastic, you know, things, it's a mess, they're sitting there, and I got to get up and go over and open it up and take them out, and put it back in. It's just not my thing. That's why. But if you, there is a better way. That's all I'm trying to say. There is a better way. But if you don't want to change, then don't change, man. It's everybody's prerogative. Stream off my phone to check out artists or to play when in my equipment only now. Okay, I don't get that, but so would you guys like it if you could stream your phone direct to your audio rig and it was not Bluetooth, it was like uncompressed and like a high level, would you do that? Okay, so here's my question. Here's my poll question for everybody tonight. If you didn't need a streamer and you could just do it from your phone, would you do it from your phone and totally avoid the streamer? Would that make you folks that are still into spinning discs, would you like it better? Let's say you could just take a thing and you could plug a transmitter into the bottom of your phone, let's say, and it sent out on a wireless technology that was uncompressed, not like Bluetooth. And you could play, you could have Cool Buzz like on your phone. It would play everything. You could take your phone calls and hear it. You know, I mean, it basically just whatever comes out of your phone speakers instead of coming out your phone speakers would be sent digitally over to your rig. Would you like that? Would you think it's cool? Buddy brought over the card is clear interconnects to prove head-to-head digital that cables make a difference. Oh yeah, why you didn't think cables made a difference? Did you need to be you knew cables made a difference, bro. You've got my cables. So you know they make a difference. You didn't need to be proved to, or did you? Mostly 1955 to 1964 and quite a few 64 Merc Marauders. Let me see what that is. That sounds cool. I love 64 is usually a good year for almost anything. Oh, you like these kind of things? These are like these are classic. These are family cars. Like same with the wagon. Like that's what I've noticed so far. Like it looks like you like the family cars, man. This is total father knows best, bro. This is like a freaking what was it? Matador, like an AMC Matador and shit like that. They were all in these but I love the no B pillar on this thing. I love when they eliminate the B pillar and you got the two doors like that and that one big giant wide open window like on the Marauder. That I love that in those old cars, man. That's the way to roll with a four door is to have no B pillar. Yeah, look at that thing. 64 Merc Marauder. Fast lane classic cars. Where is this? Watch it be Oklahoma. Where is it? What's 636? Where's that? A lot of these things are in this is Illinois. Oh, Missouri. Yeah, man. Some of these classic cars are pretty cool. That's interesting. Like you have an interesting collection, man. Do you have any pony cars, any muscle cars? Like which ones? Oh, here's a Marauder like done up kind of with some Krager mags and shit. That's a 64. So it's kind of swept, man. I see. I get it. I get it. Yeah, the front almost looks Impala a little bit. But it does have that point on the side, which makes it a Merc. Interesting stuff. Andy, the motorcycle racer, where'd you crunch your thumb? It's black. Dude, you want to see how I did that? Well, I'll use this caliber. It was a different caliber. But you know when your bolt comes back like this? Make sure my mag is out. Okay, your bolt comes back like this. Okay, right now, this is open in here. Okay, and then you've got a bolt release over here. Okay, you feel that? That thing jams forward, and what it does is it puts a bullet up into the barrel. Well, I didn't have my mags with me when I was at the range. So I was like this, okay? And I had to hand feed bullets in. So when you come in like this, to hand feed a bullet into the barrel from here, it drops down into the mag well. And so it was dropping down. So I put my thumb up the bottom, okay? And I got my thumb up there, but it was an AR-10. This is a much smaller, this is a 308 blackout. So it's a heavier spring, a heavier bolt. Had my thumb up there pushing it in, like just like that. And I had this back. Which I don't have the mag in right now, so it won't stay. I'm sorry. I had this back. It was cocked, and or the bolt was back on and hung up. Let's see, just like this. Okay, and then my thumb was up there, and while I was handling the piece, I released that, and my thumb was up right in front of the barrel like that, and it jammed my freaking thumb, and was painful as shit, man. That thing freaking hurt, dude. It hurt so bad. It hurt for like all day long. For 24 hours, I could think of nothing but how bad my thumb hurt, you know? So it was an AR-10 bolt that got me. I don't normally buy CDs anymore, but if the internet is down, I can play a CD or album instead of streaming. Yeah, exactly. That's the excuse. But when's the last time anybody remembered the internet being down? That's my excuse, is if the internet's down. I say Armageddon. If it's the end of the world, I can listen to a CD, because the only way the internet's going to be down is some fucking shit has to be going down, you know, like the end of the world type shit, or like some attack or something, which very well could happen, you know. But anybody remember the last time they didn't have internet? Plus, I like physical media inserts. Okay, that's cool. I'm getting rid. I the more I live, the more I just want to travel and not have anything. Sold all my CDs and LPs a year ago, 2 ago, while they were still worth something. As I get older, I want less clutter in my life. Same exact thing I'm describing, Michael. Same exact thing. I sold 3 motorcycles. I've got 2 cars to sell now. I'm gonna buy a convertible. And what else? And I'm gonna keep the motorcycles that I have. I might lose one of the Harleys. I've got a Fat Bob. I bought it because it's a 131 stage 4. It's a sick engine, and the guy really did a lot of stuff to it, and I got a great deal on it. Yeah, so I want to purge. I got to purge all my audio gear. I got way too much audio gear. You guys are going to be in for some killer deals. I got a guy, Kev, is coming. If you bring cash and come to my place, cash and carry is the best way you're going to get deals. And Kev is coming to get the those Eggleston works. I'm giving them away for less than my dealer cost. He's going to get a DAC too with it. Like my Bridge Audio Labs, the Balebo thing. And he's going to get a retarded deal because he's going to buy both of them and have cash in hand. So, you know, yes. So, that's the best way. I've got a bunch of stuff I'm going to purge. I've heard the annual maintenance on a Rolex is over again. Is this true? No, not at all, bro. There is no annual maintenance on a Rolex. It's like every probably 8 years or something like that. Let's ask ChatGPT and let's see. Because some people say they go even longer. I can't remember, but it's let's see what ChatGPT says. And I'm not saying she even knows her head from her ass, but she can comb the internet. Let's see. How often must you do maintenance on a Rolex Datejust made in 2021?
Yeah, so typically for a modern Rolex, like a 2021 Datejust, you're looking at a recommended service interval of about every 7 to 10 years. Rolex movements are pretty robust, so you don't have to do maintenance super often. Just keep it in good shape and it'll run smoothly for a long time.
And how much is that maintenance typically, if nothing's broken?
Yeah, so if you're just doing routine maintenance on a Rolex Datejust and nothing is actually broken, you're usually looking at a cost somewhere in the ballpark of maybe $600 to $1,000, depending on where you have it serviced and what.
Okay, so 600 to 1,000 every 8 to 10 years. So, yeah, you've been lied to. Yeah. Yo, Tribe, Seattle checking in. What's up, Rev? Good to see you, man. How's that MPD8? Brent's still losing his mind over the MPD8. He sends me some almost every day. He's like, dude, I just listened to this. Check it out. And he sends me music, dude, I can't believe it that the something is so real in this, or this thing is so, I got goosebumps, man. I've never heard it like this before. And this is Brent, who went from a $1,200 DAC to a $26,000 DAC. He stopped nowhere in between. The man's serious about his music. I'll be hosting Dano cool, for a listening session and room for the night on his way to Rochester, Minnesota. Cool, man. That's cool. Dano's good shit, Vooch. You guys will have he's a good guy. Awesome posters. Yeah, thanks, Brad. I've been saving them up, man. I buy posters when I go to shows and stuff like that, and then I'm like, what am I gonna do with them, man? I'm not gonna frame them and put them all over the house. I'll just put them up behind me for the thing. I sold 3,000 CDs to Academy Music in Manhattan in 1996 for $1 each to fund my U87 mic. I traded the Bluesmobile for a microphone. Now my ex-wife has it. I grew back my collection. I probably have 4,000 CDs now. How many microphones? More importantly, letting go of the 70s LPs from my youth was hard due to sentiment, but you just have to make a new mindset. No regrets now that they're gone. Yeah, I had another client do the same thing, man. Another 2 clients, man. They had huge vinyl collections. And after hearing MPD8, they were like, Psh, I'm selling my vinyl. What did you do to me, Mikey? I'm selling my vinyl. This DAC is so good. What's up, Mikey? I have some Shunyata power receptacles I've kicking around, and I'm just now thinking of installing them on the wall. Is that tweak worth the small effort in your experience? Why not, buddy? If you've already got them, put them in, But if it's something like they're $400 each, and you've got 4 different ones, so you've got $1,600 worth of things. No, I don't think it's worth it. I think you can get other ones that are probably as good, man. And it's just what these Shunyata cables and any sort of cable company little tweak thing like that, all you're doing is you're fucking with the field. You're fucking with the electromagnetic field around the component, and you can put your own ferromagnetic goop. You can put epoxy, 2-part epoxy. You can put fucking, as long as it's not conductive, 2-part epoxy, and you can put put crushed quartz in there and stir it around. You can take a neodymium magnet and stick it to the back of a socket, and it will change the sound. All this shit changes the sound. So these guys just put whatever shit on it that they think changes the sound to their liking, and then they call it their own special sauce. So you guys could do your own fucking special sauce. Really doesn't matter, but if you've got them, you paid for them, whatever, put them in. Absolutely. Brent says, I'm starting to think the MPD8 meets or exceeds vinyl. Look at that, man. I just said it a second ago. Now you're hearing it direct from the mouth of an owner. And this guy is a vinyl enthusiast, like, for sure. I have been a being for about a week now. Okay, well, I'll tell you a little story about MPD8. When I was thinking of buying it, of carrying it, okay, I said, who are your dealers in the US? Because depending who the company tells me is selling their shit, if it's a couple of these a-holes, I'm not carrying your brand. I don't care. There's no way I'm selling in the same marketplace with a few dealers, right? So I want to know who's selling it. It helps me size up how good the brand is, because if certain sellers have it, the brand is desperate for sellers. So anyways, I called up Jeff Poor in Illinois, because I know Jeff, and I said, dude, how's the MPD8? I'm thinking of carrying playback. He said, let me put it this way. The MPD8 beats my Kronos rig. Okay. If you guys know vinyl and you know what a Kronos is, it's $100,000 turntable setup. Okay. And he told me, and he's a dealer, and he told me it's better than the Kronos. At that point, I was like, I called up and I had already heard it, and that all I needed to do was make sure I wasn't hearing things. And I called him up and he said that. And I'm like, wow, it beats a Kronos. I got it. I'm in. So vinyl is still fun. Don't get me wrong. I don't hate vinyl. I just think it's unnecessary. And if you want an easier way, without clicks and pops and having to clean shit and having to make sure it's flat and making sure you have the proper pressing and all that crap, it's just way easier to not have to deal with it. But if you enjoy the work, then that's your own thing. I tend not to sell things and just get bigger place. 68 acres and it's all for sale. Lots of cleanup going on. That's funny, man. I hear you. I've the same thing. I've just collected stuff for so long. So, do you have any old Porsches? Is going to be my next question. Do you have any old motorcycles that are not Japanese, that are European? Do you have any muscle cars? Do you have any airplanes? And just checking for a friend. Patrick is talking about streaming monthly bill. Oh, okay. I got it. Monthly bill. No, thanks. Okay. Well, I got you. I don't mind, it's only whatever, $20 a month. And I pay it, once a year. One of the LP buyers that came by was the ex-drummer for Leon Russell. Wow, far out, man. He said that cat was cool to play for. He bought a bunch of my LPs. Oh, yeah, that's interesting, man. Ziggy, we just got back from a trip to Eagle River, God's country. Oh, you guys did a bike trip. Cool, man. Thanks, Vooch's Wax. Mikey, your room does sound good. I've been there twice with the big rig. Come to my place and listen to the Nats pre-power and Magico A3s. My shit sounds great too, bro. Yeah, if I'm in Wisconsin, you can bet I'll definitely come by for sure. Absolutely. And the rig here, I don't think, have you heard the big? You haven't heard the 1000.1s yet, have you? Right now, my system sounds clear, far and away better than any of my other rigs. The one right now. The big panels did not sound as good as the 1000.1s. So you also, Vooch, you can come down too if you like, if you're ever down here for your, like, any of your kids or whatever. Does Luke know Dave from Tulsa? Almost everyone knows Dave into music and speakers. Who's Dave from Tulsa? Is he a dealer? Why do you prefer the straight cut on your cigars versus V cut? I think I like the V cut. Because a V cut, in my opinion, molests the cigar. In other words, it just tears through the long filler. You're just like hacking through that shit, just crunching it out. So a couple things. First of all, you can get little flakes of tobacco, which if those go into your mouth and you swallow them, you'll get sicker than a dog. So I don't want little tidbits of shit in my mouth, right? Second of all, and then but more so than that is like I just don't like, I think a V cut is it's like invasive surgery, right? It's like you're just fucking hacking into the tip of it. Whereas a straight cut, you don't lop the end off. You don't take a chunk of it off. You don't cut through any of the long filler. You just gently twirl your cigar and pull the cap off, because every cigar has a cap on it. You can see it. Okay, so like you see those little horizontal lines? That is just a cap that's on there. Okay, so if you take your cutter and you put it just on the very tip and you spin it around, and then that cap will just come right off and it leaves the long filler intact. Okay, so what I see a V cut is for maybe cheaper cigars or cigars that are rolled too hard or whatever, and you're just crunching through this and tearing through the long filler, in order to, maybe it's got a hard draw and you just really need to get in there so that you can draw through it. But a well-constructed cigar, you can just pull that little cap off gently, just pull the cap off and it will draw perfectly. Okay, if it doesn't, it's not a well-constructed cigar. So V cuts are too invasive. They're too heavy duty for me. Now, In the case of a torpedo, okay, like this is the end that you light, okay? This is the end that goes in your mouth. Now this, you're going to have to lop that thing off. There's no way around it because it's closed, right? And there is no cap on this thing. That's not the way a torpedo works. This one, you're going to have to schlock the tip off. Just cut right through the long filler and crunch it right off, and then smoke it. And so typically I'd rather just take the cap off. So, but many people like V-cut. Some people like that punch, a circle punch. I don't know. Everybody has their own reason. Just do whatever you like. It really doesn't matter. The LPs and CDs I sold are now being enjoyed by people, a lot of younger guys, instead of just sitting in my closet. Yeah, that's cool. Makes sense. Fisher, narcissist, keep on rocking in your world. I keep on rocking in everybody's world, brother. It's not just my world. We've got over 20 pairs out there working, 25 roughly pairs. And they just keep selling. And they're going to be at Capital Audio Fest. So you guys come to Capital Audio Fest. You'll see the 370s in with AGD. And I'll sell even more. So it's a better speaker than Magico. It's a better speaker than Wilson. It's a better speaker than YG Acoustics. It's a better speaker than Sonus Faber. You get more for your money. And I'm not saying those other brands are bad. I'm just saying Fisher is for sure a better speaker for the money. Absolutely. And I will rock in your world. Your poll. No, I am all in on vinyl with my reference rig. Okay, cool. Not my customer. You're stuck with your buddy, the brain surgeon or whatever. Yeah, and you're still using a little thing, but that's cool. If you're happy, bro, then that's all that matters. If the second you switch to, well, you do streaming, so you do at least get to explore music. But if I came up there and I put an MPD8 in your system, you'd shit your bed. You'd shit your pants. And if I put an MPD8 in your buddy's rig, does that guy still use a Dragonfly in his $500,000 rig or whatever? And he uses like a $100 DAC? I'm wondering. But yeah, that's good, man. I mean, vinyl's got to be for somebody because it's not going to be for me. And it's cool. It's cool for others. It's cool for other people. I just switched to Ottervana using the remote app on the phone. It's awesome. Okay, cool, man. I would stream from my phone, yet still would buy the CDs. I listen to my stereo in my skid loader or other equipment here. Oh, okay. So you use CDs in the skid loader? It would be cool if you could stream from your phone, wouldn't it? I mean, think how limited CDs are. You could play anything if you had just a Bluetooth or something. Hell no, but there's only one DAC and only one speaker. So phones suck. There's only one DAC and only one speaker. Brand? Is that what you'll have to clarify. I'm not sure what you're saying. I once owned a 41 Buick, straight 8 with dual carbs, weighed about 3 tons. Yeah, of course, man. Vooch had a killer classic. We almost traded for Hi-Fi. He had a really cool convertible muscle car, old school. What was that? That thing was it was a Impala, wasn't? No. It was a Chevelle. I can't remember what you had, Vooch. But we almost did the deal. And at the very end, I was like, God, man, I don't need a classic car in my life. I just can't do it. No, I don't need to be proved to regarding cables, but it was compelling to hear how the CD player improved to beat the Qobuz Dragonfly DAC. Yeah. Interesting. Rocky. My dad had a 64 Mercury Monterey with the power rear window. Transmission was shit, but nice riding boat. Yeah, dude, those things floated like boats for sure, man. I don't have your interconnects. I've got Veerstar power cords and speaker cables, which are awesome. Still waiting for my 6-meter balanced interconnects from you, brother. Well, I'm ready to sell them to you when you want, brother. If you need them, just let me know. You got I once I'm paid, then I have to make shit. Physical media has memories attached to it. Yeah, so do a lot of things, you know. So do old photographs, you know. Um, um, is that why? That's why you I mean, isn't it the music that has the memories attached to it? You actually what if you had the physical media and you're in a jail cell and you just didn't have would you rather have a streaming in the music or the physical media that you could look at? What do you want? The memories or the music? You know? But I get what you're saying, but I don't share it. To me, the memories come from the music listening, not from the media itself. But, you know, hey, whatever. I have quite a few station wagons as well. The wagons are pretty cool, man. There's some cool wagons. Do you have any rancheros? Ranchero's a cool Ford, man. I wasn't really into the El Camino. I am a Chevy guy, but I didn't like the El Camino as much as the Ranchero. Ranchero's way cooler. Um, what were the cool wagons? Like man, there was a couple wagons that were like really kind of cool, like maybe Pontiac Le Mans or some shit like that. Like some wagons that had like hood scoops or something. Like I can't remember which were the badass wagons. Rocky, that is a breezeway with the rear window that rolls down. Yes. I grew up I grew up with vinyl, but never liked the pops and crackles. Even before digital, it always bugged me. Cleaning and D-stat LPs was a pain in the ass. Spoken like a city slicker, Mike. Yeah, I'm a total city slicker, dude. I am absolutely. I tell people all the time, I'm a city boy. I am city through and through. I mean, I love the outdoors and I love to get away, and I don't want to live in the city, but my background is city. I've got street smarts. You know, it's like that's I can't help it. It's the way I am. That's funny. What was I'm losing track. I've traveled all over and like it here in the Ozarks now. Yeah, it's pretty there, man. It's good motorcycle riding too, especially through um where's that? Arkansas. What I hear is great riding. Laugh my ass off. You keep a firearm next to you. A firearm? I'm a gun enthusiast, but my retired Marine son is more so. So I transferred most to him. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, dude. I've got them all over, bro. I shoot long distance. I mean, that's for fun, you know, and just in whatever. That thing's for fun. That's just shits and giggles. But I love to. I mean, didn't I show you guys I was shooting 600 yards the other day? I've got a 21-inch barrel 6.5 Creedmoor, and thing is so nice, man. My buddy made it for me, and it's so nice. But yeah, I love to shoot, man. And firearms have always been cool to me ever since when I was a little kid in third grade. My book report or my report that we did, my project was on firearms. I did a report on firearms, the history of firearms, and I just always thought it was cool that you can control an explosion, and launch a projectile. That whole concept is just fucking cool, man. You know, it's cool shit, man. You can and be in control of it and be in control of it in a 5-inch group 600 yards away is even cooler. What's up? How's it hearing, man? It is good. So what's the point of a streamer? Um, other than to provide music? I think I understand. Like, are you asking me why do I like it better than hard media? Well, because I can listen to probably 10 times the amount, 100, 1,000 times the music that you can. So it's the music listening experience is limitless. Okay. And I like limitless. I like unlimited. I don't like constrainments. I don't like limitations. And a CD collection is limiting. I don't give a fuck. You got 5,000 CDs. It's limiting. You know, there's 10 million CDs on the damn, streaming. So the point of a streamer, the things that you can do with streaming that you can't do with CDs, is new music exploration, exponential music exploration. Um, you can't have somebody come over and say, "Hey, have you heard this one band? Oh God, your rig sounds so good. I'd love to hear, whatever they want to hear." They name something, and the chances are, if it's, you never heard of it, you're not going to have it in your collection. But I can play it for any of my guests. Today, a guy wanted something. I can't even remember what it was called. It was a very odd name, and I found it and I played it for him. He's like, "Oh my God, you've got it," and he wanted to he's like, "Can I bring a CD over to play and we can rip it or whatever?" And I'm like, "Dude, I can find it on streaming. Just tell me what the name of the band is." And in 2 seconds we were playing it. So the point of the streamer is unlimited music listening, unlimited music exploration, ability to efficiently change music when you get sick of what you're listening to, or you have a little birdie flies up your ass and you're like, "I'd rather listen to Dancing Queen," or whatever. You know what I mean? You just all of a sudden you feel like, like I'll be listening to something and it will trigger a thought of another song by another band. Like, and then I want to hear that song. So I can put it in the song list, and then I can hear that. And I don't have to get up. Okay. So by streaming, what it does is it means that I out of an hour, that let's say I'm taking it 2 hours in my room listening, the percentage of time listening to music will be much greater if I stream than if I'm dropping discs into a tray. And maybe that's where the ratio is at least 4 times. I can listen to at least 4 times more music. Let's say double. Let's keep it conservative. I can easily listen to twice the amount of music that you do in 2 hours. So my time listening, the older I get, the more valuable time is. The older I get, the less I want to waste time on shit, right? So to me, flipping through plastic boxes, trying to find things, loading trays, it's archaic. It's a time waster. There's no reason for it. There's no, why would I do that to myself? Why would I have less time listening? So by streaming, I can instantly be up and going, listening to music, listen to something else if I want. And then some people say, "Well, you don't listen to the whole album." Well, what if you don't want to listen to the whole album? They act like switching music around is a bad thing. What do you do when you listen to the fucking radio? You listen to a different song every time. You're not listening to full albums on the radio. So who cares? There's nothing wrong with listening to music, skipping around, listening to whatever you want. It's more enjoyable. You get to do what you want exactly when you want to, but you're limited in that when you listen to CDs. You don't want to get up. So you're like, "I don't feel like getting up. So I'm just going to listen to the rest of this album." Oh, it's that next song. Well, maybe you got a remote control. You can skip that song, or something like that. But then you're getting back up. I'm getting clicking it into a plastic box, handling plastic. It's not even like you're handling a beautiful metal polished disc going into a metal tray. You've got some cheap ass plastic shit disc with fucking screen printing on it that you're pulling out of a cheap ass plastic box, and you're putting it into a cheap ass plastic tray most of the time. Too much handling of cheap plastic shit. I don't want my fingers touching cheap plastic shit. I'd rather have it on leather and steel and polished aluminum and other materials than cheap plastic. I could go on and on about the experience. It's a better experience for me. A streamer is by far makes my listening experience better and maximized. Um, Swapping out plastic disc media into plastic trays is not what I want to spend my time on. So that's kind of. But if it makes you happy, I'm stoked, because I just want people to be happy. So I'm not saying my way is the right way, just for the record. I'm just telling you why I do it and why I personally like streaming. It's risky to travel with a lot of cash on you. If you get pulled over and a cop finds the money, they take it. It's called civil forfeiture. You will not get the money back. Where does that come? Oh, you mean oh, yeah. Mm, I don't know that that happens all the time. Okay. If you get pulled over and you are in a murdered out Dodge Challenger and you look like a thug and you don't have a job and your car smells like skunks, yeah, you have cash in your pocket, you're not getting it back. If you are in a, you know, Volvo, brand new. You've got your family in the car. Okay. They look at your record. It's perfectly clean. You, work at whatever, um, a pharmaceutical company, and they ask you why you have your cash and you say, I'm going to buy a car, I'm going to buy a boat, I'm going to buy a watch, I'm going to buy whatever from a private party, they're not going to take your fucking money. It depends on who you are. Okay. And they're going to use their best judgment. Is this illegal money or is this not legal money? Okay. And if you look like a dealer or like you've gotten it through illegal means, then they can forfeit and they can grab your cash. But they are absolutely not going to. It's not with everybody. So don't be a pussy. Carry some fucking cash. I don't carry tons of cash, but you know what? Who fucking cares? What are you going to take my fucking $1,000? You fucking take it, I mean, but if you're going to buy something, and especially if it's in a bank, envelope, like, and they're all crisp and they just came from the bank, they're not going to take it from you, you know? And trust me, people do it all the time. I travel with cash, they don't even it can go through in your baggage and they can see it in the freaking thing and you're not supposed to travel with more than 10K. It's like it's on a per human basis, so don't look like a derelict. Yeah, the MPD-8 is blowing my mind. Yes, brother, you are a lot of us. Everybody that gets it, it blows their mind. Nobody wants to sell them. Everybody freaking loves them. They can't believe them. They're great. A quick question. I love my Fisher and Fisher 270s. Would the 370s or 470s sound more refined or better, or do they just fill a bigger room with more power? So they're definitely not more refined. These speakers are refined. Starting at the 70s, they're refined. Okay. So when you go to 370s, okay, are your 270s, do they have the soft dome tweeter? Can't remember, Jim. Do they have the soft dome tweeter or do they have the AMT? Because the first difference in the Fisher and Fisher line is the introduction of the AMT. So if your 270s have the soft dome tweeter and you go to the 370, you're going to all of a sudden not only get bigger drivers, but you're going to get an AMT. So it's going to extend higher. It's going to have more air, okay? And it's going to have more bass, okay? So it's not just necessarily that they fill a bigger room. They will fill a bigger room, but once you get to 570, then you're getting more bass all the way up to 570, and well, all the way up. Even you just get more bass and a bigger room. But in the same size room, the 370s aren't going to overpower your room. No, they're not going to load it too heavy. 470s are not going to load. 470 can go into any room, okay? So the reason that you buy lower than the 470 is budgetary. If 22.5 is in your budget, you buy 470s for sure. And they all of these will fit in the same room. Okay. Once you get past 470, now 570s. If you have bigger rooms, you have high ceilings. Like when I spoke with Larry, Luke, when we were talking to him, he told me his ceiling height and how big his bedroom was. At first, I was like, dude, 570s are too much for you. I'm not even going to sell you 570s for your room. You need 470s or smaller. And then he told me the size of his room. And I'm like, oh, shit. Okay, no problem with 570s, dude. And you're going to rock. If you want to rock the Casbah, you're totally going to with 570s. So they're not going to get more refined. They are just going to have more bass and higher extension with 370s or 470s, and ability to play louder. So if you like to play loud, they're just going to be able to light up, and scorch if you want them to. They're stronger, they're beefier, they're more muscly. They start to become muscly. And then once you get into 570, it's like an Aston Martin. It's like a gentleman, looks like a gentleman on the outside, but you stab the throttle and you've got an unruly muscle car. That's how these Fisher and Fishers are as you go up. They just become more muscular. Vooch will never sell his vinyl. That's cool. You're attached to it. I've got killer pressings and amazing condition original albums, Jack. It's pure gold. Sweet, dude. You're the perfect guy, man, for vinyl. That's great. There's a lot of you guys. But it's not, I don't sell vinyl, I don't sell turntables, I don't sell any of that shit. It's not my thing. But it's cool. True that, Rachel. Yeah, I don't know. You can either be, I'm not afraid of cops. Because I'm clean. My record's clean. I'm like, I don't do stupid shit. I don't, so and I would never travel with enough and trust me, if they took my cash and there was no fucking reason for it, I'd hire an attorney and I'd fucking get it back. And you can believe I'd get it back. They have to have a reason to forfeit. They can't just take it. Now they can take it that day, but then you'll get it back. They would have to go to a court and explain why they think, there'd have to be some sort of reason. Now, granted, depending what city you're in, okay, and what judge and the whole, the judge can do whatever they want. But if you're in a place like Chicago or New York or whatever, where they're real liberal, you're going to get your money back. They let fucking murderers out back on the street, for Christ's sake. They're definitely giving you your money back. I sell out of print world music CDs. Oh yeah, okay, I got it. That's why you're into it. Makes sense. Got tired of lots of people coming to buy just a few LPs or CDs. That I made a great deal with a local guy starting a resale shop. He bought everything left for a very fair price. Yeah, that's awesome. Last time I was there, you had the Tads in the room along with the big rig. Okay, so it's changed, brother. It is totally different. What's up, Andy? Mikey and Tribe, just listening to the stream. And you're in the skid loader right now while unloading 300 bales of hay. My dad just brought me his 1,500 plus CDs from the 90s, so having some fun going through them. Cool. Well, that's a great way to you get them free and check them out, man. That's fun. Andy, what's a bale go for? $13 here in Oregon. How much are your bales of hay, Andy? Probably depends how many you buy. Is it 13 if you buy them one by one, or is it 13 if you buy them 300 at a time? When you're cutting off the end off the cigar, are you not cutting into the filler? Do you end up with a round end or a flat end? Okay, so if you imagine the filler, it's straight leaf, right? And when they're putting it together and they're squeezing the filler together, they have this round cutter. They cut the filler flat, okay? And then they put the wrapper on it, and then and then the wrapper is wide open, and then they put a cap on the end. So when I cut the end off one with the cap, I'm absolutely not cutting into the filler at all. I'm simply taking the cap off. So it's almost like, I don't know, what could I compare it to? Taking a bottle cap off. It's like, imagine taking a bottle cap off. Do you take any of the glass? No, you don't. You pop the top off. So it's similar to that. You skim the thing and it will let go, dude. On one that has a capper, you gently squeeze your cutter. You don't just crank. You want to feel it for the end, and then you rotate your cigar and it cuts around, and it'll just come right off. It'll like flake right off, the cap will. And you're not cutting through the long filler at all. And you end up with a flat end. It's flat. And then you just brush it with your finger. I blow on it to get any of those little flakes out, anything that's loose in there. And then that's it. And it should draw perfectly. Okay. If you have a trouble drawing, then you could come back with a V cutter and try and get into it more. Some people like a V cut because they think it gives more. It doesn't give more surface area because it's just a small slit. If you cut the whole cap off, you know, I think a V cut may work with cigars that are harder to draw, that are like wrapped tight on the end. But no, when I take the cap off, I'm not cutting into the filler at all. Still listening to my red colored transistor pocket radio. The sound of single ended amp in it is so good. Awesome. That's the best, man. That is the best. You got to boogie with it down the street too and do a dance, man. When flat cutting. Yeah, that's what I was describing, flat cutting. You battery backup. Battery backup for what? Marine grade epoxy. Yep, that can work too. What do you mean I'm not your customer? No, I know you are. I know you got my cable. I'm saying vinyl guys, if you're shopping for vinyl or you want vinyl records or turntables or vinyl stuff, analog stuff, anything analog, I don't sell it. So that's no, you took it wrong. That's what I meant is I can't help you with your record thing. I would love to like I helped you with cables and your amps. But when you're talking about all the vinyl stuff, I can't help you. There's nothing I can do for you. I could sell you a Nat Audio Phono Pre, which would be very good Phono Pre. But if you ask me, how does it compare to others? I know that people tell me they're super good, but I don't know how to judge how good it is. I just have to go on other people telling me. I stream in my equipment as well. Oh, cool, man. 68 Impala SS convertible. There you go. Yeah, that's right. That thing was cool, man. That was a cool car. Did I end up tweaking your moto suspension at all? If so, how did it go? I didn't tweak it, brother. But what was weird is putting myself down in the seat an inch. Like I took that spacer out, my seat went down an inch. I'm lower, my weight is held lower. So it felt better just being that I was lower. I was lower in the seat. My head was further behind the screen. So today I was on the freeway. I was doing a buck 100 probably. I wasn't going for a buck 30, but and everything felt all right. I'm going to do a steering damper, bro. But I have to think about like it gets squirrely. It just gets a little light at over 110. But what am I, do I really want to be over 110? Yeah, I'd rather have a steering damper just in case I want to really rip it out on the freeway, and go a buck 20, a buck 30. I just want to make sure that I don't get any wobbles. But it's a fucking adventure bike, bro. I'm Captain Adventure on that thing. I love ripping it, dude. The thing has the sweetest backfire when I shift, when I got it in sport mode. Scrap, man. And I know how to just launch that whip. It's like cracking a whip, dude, out my exhaust. And I can just come up if I want to, if I feel like it, I can just come right, crap, and just whip somebody, that if I feel like cracking the whip. And it's just the best, dude. It's new motorcycles. Only new motorcycles can do that. Old Ducatis did not do that. You could not. But now I just that thing is like, it's fun, man. It's like lion tamer. I make MP3s and load them into my phone. Oh, don't use MP3. Horrible compression. I played in my car just a small amount of albums at a time. Better than the car FM radio. It is, but use FLAC. MP3s they truncate the bits. An MP3 is like the most lossy compression scheme. So MP3s actually, and Mark Levinson did a whole study on this. MP3 makes you sick. It has a not psychosomatic, physiological response. and it's brain stress. Do not listen to MP3s. They're bad for you. 55 Chevy Nomad or 57 Nomad, best wagons. Yeah, those were classic, man. They had those circle things in the hood with like the they look like airplane jet things. Smokeless powders does not explode. It's a propellant, expanding gas. Oh, okay. Black powder do blow. Technically deflagrating as opposed to explosion. Okay. I fucking deflagrate out my ass sometimes, man. Holy shit. Deflagrating. What a word, dude. Did you deflagrate? I can smell that. Smokeless powders do not explode. That's very interesting. I had no idea. I thought there was fire in there. Music equals No Name by Roderick. Oh, okay, cool. That's something you're telling people to listen to. No Name by Roderick. I listened to some shit that you said last time, dude. Did you say that whatever that weird ass shit was, man? I listened to it and I'm like, oh my God, dude, what is this? You listen to weird music? I can't remember what that last was. It you that told me that last thing? I can't remember. Somebody said some music and I tried it and I was like, Jesus, this is whacked out. It was like a serious acid meltdown. Free radical here in Iowa, it's usually around 6 to 750 for pretty decent alfalfa. This is fourth cutting and decent hay. This load is $6 a bale, and I think there's around 240 bales, but still going. Right on, man. So you are telling me I have to sell my Edison cylinders now? What the fuck are those? Are those vacuum tubes? I'm gonna look it up. Oh, are you talking about those records? Oh, those things, man. Those are cool as hell, brother. Or sister. Excuse me. Um, uh, those are cool. Those are cool. Did you ever see the thing on YouTube where a guy's holding a super rare Edison cylinder? And because it's like, what is that stuff again? The material? It's I want to say acetate, but it's not. And it's not plastic, it's something else. It's like not Bakelite, but whatever. Maybe it is Bakelite. And he's holding it and he's like, this is extremely rare. It was like something worth a lot of money, right? A very rare cylinder. And he's holding it in his hands and talking about how delicate it is. And he squeezes it and the thing explodes in his hand. Just doesn't explode. It deflagrates in his hand, goes everywhere. And you watch him freaking freak out that he just broke that cylinder. It's the funniest. It's an old video from YouTube. It's funny shit. I'm going to get out of vinyl. Look at Rev. Look at what he's saying. I'm going to get out of vinyl, I think. I have a lot of records. I thought it was the best until last week. The MPD8 changed that. Well, look, man, Vooch likes vinyl. Vooch, you want to buy Rev's? I can guarantee you that Revelry has the best pressing. I mean, he just sold a 1957 Gibson gold top. He keeps high grade shit. He had how many years ago did you have your Porsche 930? This guy doesn't fuck around. So I can tell you that he's probably going to have a pristine record collection of cool shit. So Vooch, maybe you want to buy his records. We can send Vooch all the records, man. All the records that we are transcending from. Free radical at Andy. Dang, you want some goats? You guys working out a trade? Streaming is way better and efficient. I think so. And I mean, once you get a DAC that rivals, like Revelry's talking about, once you get a DAC that beats vinyl, then there's no reason for it unless you love to take the time. Some people want to do things slow. They just want, inefficiency is a luxury for them. I saw a dude today. I was out riding my Ducati, a modern Ducati adventure bike, right? And I see a guy on like a 1974 shovelhead chopper that is ridiculous. It's got a suicide shifter. It's got no front brake. He's got one clutch on the right hand. He's got nothing on the left hand. He's got a foot brake, and his feet are almost up as high as his not as knees. They're in front of him, up like that. He's got an open primary, and he's reaching his hand down under his left ass cheek, where there's the shifter, where he's shifting gears. So he doesn't even have a gear shifter on his foot. It's done with his arm. And I'm watching this shit, and I'm just thinking to myself, I'm looking at vinyl. I'm looking at an analog. This dude is so analog. Like the amount of work that he had to go through. Now, granted, he had it down. He was doing it wonderfully. I was like, God, I talked to him at the stop thing. I'm like, man, you drive that thing so well, dude. Have you had it forever? Well, he was a custom chopper builder guy, whatever. But it's his hobby. And he's like, well, I got no front brakes. So if I'm on a hill and I'm stopping on a hill, I need to angle the bike so it doesn't roll because I can't let go of the clutch, actually the clutch is on the left. So he had the clutch on the left. Now, I wonder how the clutch was engaged because I remember he didn't have a brake. So it's a throttle on the right, no front brake on the right. He's got a clutch on the left. He's just got throttle on the right. But it was like I was watching this guy and I'm like, the amount of work he has to go through to ride this thing just to look cool. It's like, but I was thinking, maybe he gets something out of the full analog experience. Maybe he gets something out of the lack of, and here I am on my bike, like probably 4 times the horsepower of his, maybe 5 times the horsepower. And just everything's so easy to ride, But I'm like, well, maybe he digs it, It's cool. But I couldn't help but think about, vinyl and turntables. I am feeding around 13 horses at the moment. 13, and you got pretty horses too. I've seen some pics. I've traveled with almost 100K on my dash of my 1966 Ford F-250, buying cars in the Southwest and never an issue. That's what I thought, I don't think I've ever run with 100K, but I've run with like 30, and at first, if you've never done it before, it scares you. But once you've done it a couple times, you're like, whatever, it's no big deal. People carry cash to go buy shit, and it's private sales. They go to buy cars, they go to buy boats, they go to buy things, and those sometimes they're $100,000. Old ladies have had their life savings taken from them from cops. That is a rogue cop. Okay. So that is in no way acceptable. That is, that is probably 1 in a million, I highly doubt that cops are running around taking money from old ladies. Like that's absolutely ridiculous. Any tweeters? Is that what you're asking? Amy tweeters? Are you asking any tweeters? Oh, AMT. Yes, they have AMTs. They're AMTs. That's right. Oh, you have AMT tweeters in yours. Okay. So if you have the AMTs, okay, Jim. Yeah, that's right. You had AMTs. So if you have the AMTs, no, it's not any more refined. It's just more bass. That's what you get from 370 and 470. More bass and ability to play louder. More muscle to it. No muscle cars. Everyone has them. I like more obscure things. Okay. I'm with you. So what about like a AMX? Got one of those? How about a Ranchero would be kind of in there. AMX. What's another one I'm thinking of? Obscure shit. I don't know. I'd have to think about it for a while. I haven't thought. My brain hasn't gone there in a while. What kind of speakers does Rachel have? I don't know. Let me guess. Studio monitors. I have 2 horses, Andy. Get a bank bag from your personal banker and lock your cash in it because law enforcement must have a warrant to open. Look at that. Mr. Harris coming in with some 411. Get a bank bag from your personal banker and lock your cash in it because law enforcement can't open that shit. because it's locked. They got to have a warrant to open that shit. Beautiful. There you go. Put it in a bank bag. Now, does it have to be from your personal banker, or can you just get any bank bag with a lock on it from Amazon? That's the question. Hey, Free Radical, I have a pair of JBL 4430s and a pair of JBL 4329Ps. Had my 4430s since 1995 or so. Wow. So that's what, 30 years old? It's crazy, man. Did you have to did you have to like redo the surrounds or whatever? FNF 470M says Brent are amazing, deep bass, perfect soundstage, deep and wide. Yes, I mean they're monsters, man. And I mean 570s are even more intense. Buenos dias. What is your prediction for the next 20 years? How hi-fi will change? Oh boy, Roberto. Let me look. 20 years. Do you think are humans still going to be here? That's the first thing. The first thing I wonder for 20 years out is the world even going to be a world like we're in now, or is it going to be like something from The Fifth Element or Blade Runner? You know, it's very possible that AI, once it reaches general AI, could really change the way we do everything, and we may not have freedoms to just do shit like buy audio system. I don't know. Okay, so let me bring back. Let's assume that everything's fine and we continue the way we're going for 20 years, and it's just, you know, more houses and more development or whatever. I think eventually it'll move to, you know, there's a couple questions in here. Is what's the prediction? Okay, for hi-fi with who? With audiophiles or with mainstream? I think mainstream audio. I think it's going to get less and less. What's going to happen is it's going to be something for the very rich. What's happening now is the middle ground is being eviscerated. So we've got the cheap Chinese shit on one hand, and then we've got the retarded expensive on the other hand. There still exists some things in the middle, but that will be most likely eviscerated. And most people will have to use cheap Chinese shit. Maybe that'll change and it'll be cheap American stuff or cheap European stuff, but most people will that we won't have the options that we used to have in terms of middle ground, you know, systems for $100,000, you know, that stuff is going to get eaten up. I think people will want the mainstream may start to like higher end, but they're going to want simple. They're not going to want all the boxes. The whole big old heavy iron, a bunch of boxes, that is a dinosaur. That shit's gone. Okay. Some people are still holding on to that shit, but I don't see it lasting. I see active speakers becoming the thing. Active speakers and, you know, something where your phone is your streamer, you know, where you just get on your phone and boom, play music, or you just tell your phone, you tell ChatGPT play or whatever, you know, already you can do it with Alexa, right? But it's not hooked in. There's probably a way to make it hook into your rig. But you walk into your room and you say, play Jimi Hendrix at half volume, play Jimi Hendrix at 50 volume, whatever. Play Jimi Hendrix Electric Ladyland. I don't like that. Stop, play, you know, and you probably have to prompt it first, you know, audio system stop, you know, audio robot stop, you know, virtual Mikey stop. You know, it's going to get simpler and more efficient. That's what I see. It's just going to get simpler and more efficient. All the boxes, all the shit, vinyl will be gone. I think in 20 years, the kids that are now kids aren't going to give a shit about plastic media. All the plastic media will be gone. It will only be streaming. Of course, there's going to be one or two whatever, a handful of people that are antique collectors that still like to listen to antiques, just like Rachel said, the Edison cylinders, you know. So vinyl will go the way of Edison cylinders or 8-track or whatever. A couple people will have them, but it's definitely not going to be popular. Music will not be made by artists. Music will be made by AI. The music you're listening to, you won't know if it's a human or if it's a computer, but you won't give a shit because the music is that good. Um, Therefore, music will lose its value. If computers are making music as good as humans, it will dilute the fact that it was created by a human. So people aren't going to value the humans creating music, which is horrible and it's sad. I'm more concerned about the future of music and the artists than the gear that plays it back. I think there's gonna be no only for the people that just need to play for their soul. Those are gonna be the only ones. And there's gonna be computers that make music just as good. And people aren't gonna know. The people aren't gonna care that are listening. The kids that are listening, the people that are listening on the radio, they're not gonna care if it's human or computer. They're just gonna want music that sounds good. They're not gonna care where it came from. So it's gonna devalue the human artist. I used to think that, with all technology and all this stuff, they can't um come after human creation. That's what we have. That's our edge. The edge that we have is the fact that we can paint things, we can write music, we can do all this shit. Well, AI can do all that shit now, and it can do it in many ways better. um there are still some things that can't be done, but that will change. you know it's like right now an AI can't do plumbing, but eventually when there's humanoid robots, an AI will do plumbing. And we're fucked. I mean, if that happens, 90% of the jobs are going to be eliminated because corporations are greedy. So they're going to replace humans with humanoid robots or with computer algorithm programs. I don't see, I have an idea I know what I'm doing over the next 20 years with music. And it's the tribe. And I'll go into when the time. I'm not talking about that until it's ready. Like, I'm not gonna hint or anything about that. When it's ready, we've got a full structure, we've got a full website. All of a sudden, one day it's gonna go bang, and you're gonna be like, "Holy shit, that's the dream Mikey talked about." I meet 2 times a week with a group, investors and design and business folks, and we're creating something because I don't see anything in the future for our what we're doing. I just see people selling out and making products that are for the rich and wealthy, and the heart going out of it. So I think the passion leaves. That's what over the next 20 years, the passion for the audio arts goes extinct. Or just gets very, very minuscule. People will make luxury product, but there won't be passion. And for the audio arts, there's going to be passion for the Saudi Arabians' money or whatever, whoever's the billionaires. That's all they're going to be. They're going to be sucking the toes of those guys to get their cash money. That's what I see. I see people selling out and not doing it for the love of the craft, but for doing it for the payday. Humans are just getting less and less. We are losing our soul. We're losing our passion. I don't see anything good. Like, why do you think I travel all the time and don't work hard? And, I mean, I work smart, not hard, right? I I travel as much as possible. I don't overwork myself. I do that on purpose. Why? Because I think these memories, the things that we're doing now, the things that we do with our life that are experiential, these are it's do it while we can. Jump in a fucking 600 horsepower convertible and travel across the country with the top down while you can, with cash on the dashboard, as we're talking about, while you can. Cash will be gone. 20 years, there will be no cash. It'll only be black market shit if there is even cash. I don't think cash will be around in 20 years. all your purchases will be monitored. Your functioning in life, whether you can travel or not, will be tied with all this shit. It's just so at this point, I say everybody have the most fun that you can right fucking now, because I think it's going to be a lot harder to have fun later on. Audio system you'll always be able to have in your own house and when you sit around the house and listen to music. So the audio systems will be more important than they ever were. Right now we can go out and travel and do all sorts of shit and have fun and spend cash and just whatever. But that will change. So when that changes, what are you going to have? You're going to have your audio system. That won't get taken away. That won't be infringed upon. Your ability to listen and have an experience within your own home. That will be your sacred area. It will become more and more so. So that's kind of what I see. My oldest just passed Sequoia. My pit lab of almost 15 years got to hold her as she went. Oh man. So sorry to hear that. So sorry to hear that's so tough, man. I held my dog too when she went. It's so tough feeling that last breath. You feel their chest rise and go, and then it doesn't, they don't take that next breath. It's fucking it's like a spear through the heart, man. It's heavy duty, but it's life, man. It's gonna happen to us. We're next on deck. Rachel, always loved Mr. Lansing's work. I fell in love with JBL when I first heard the L100s in the 70s. iPhones won't play WAV files. I don't use iPhone. iPhone's a commie phone. I suggest you read the book or listen to the audio book, Apple in China, and you find out how Apple gave Chinese the upper hand on technology against the United States. Apple fucked us with China with technology. So it's a fucking communist phone. Don't they would play FLAC? Phones only cooperate if it's playing an MP3. Oh, really? You can't play FLAC on your phone? I thought Qobuz streams in CD quality on your phone. At least if it's an Android. Buicks had the holes, Mikey, on the side. Okay, so it was the Buick. Got it. I'm thinking of, wasn't there one that had them on the hood? Like those jet things that were like in the hood. Doubt they would play FLAC. Yeah, it'd be interesting. The only thing I hate about my VPI Scout is the stupid skinny ass belt. You have to move down the motor spindle to change speeds. Well, I mean, isn't that how you do it on a fucking drill press? You know? Music equal Patricia Barber, inchworm. I got your inchworm, Patricia. Peace to all and all a good night. See you, man. I'm coming out to freaking Utah or Seattle or Washington or whatever, so I'll make sure to get in touch. You need cash to buy weed too. Okay, so cash won't go away. That's funny. We'll have to be trading, dude. I'm already buying shit to trade. I'm buying whiskey. I don't even drink, and I'm buying high-end whiskey because I'm hedging, dude. I'm hedging for it all. You know, whatever happens, I'll have shit to trade. What's in inside speaker cable boxes like in transparent branded ones? Like inside transparent branded ones would be transparent cables, right? Because it's branded. It just means that they're trying to sell their speakers by saying we put a higher quality of wire in it. What's funny though is you look at it, and I don't know what kind of transparent, but you have to realize just because it has transparent on it, maybe it's cheap wire anyways, and they just put their name on it to help for marketing. So unless you know exactly what the spec of the wire is, it doesn't mean anything. Roberto, in 25 years, vinyl will still be here. It will still be here, just like, you know, Edison, and he said 20 years, I think. Edison cylinders are, it just won't be popular. You know, that's what I'm saying. There's no kids that are going to be into it, you know, unless they're just geeky little kids that are into old antique shit, which is fine, but it's just Vooch, vinyl's gonna die with us, bro. It's not gonna like flourish with the younger generation. They could give two shits about it. Ask your kids. Ask your kids if they want to play a record. Ask your kids if they want a record player, and just tell me what their response is. I doubt they're gonna be like, "Oh my god, yeah, that's so cool, Dad. I want records." They're gonna be like, "No, thanks, Dad. Thanks, appreciate it, but throw them out." And then when you pass, they're gonna throw that shit out, bro. They're not gonna go try and sell them in the garage. They're gonna chuck them. Maybe yours won't, but I mean, typically, when a family is left with somebody's record collection, all that shit, they just give it away, give it to Goodwill, whatever. Yes, I reconed the 4430 woofers twice. There you go. Good for you. Looks more professional if your bank bag is connected to the bank you do business with. Okay, so it looks more legit. Is that what you're saying? It's interesting. I'll have to ask my bank and then just watch their face go blank when I ask them, "Can I have a bank bag with a lock on it?" They're going to be like, "What are you talking about?" Maybe they won't. Maybe they'll go, "Oh, yeah, we could ask for that. Sure, no problem. We got them right here." Reach in their desk drawer and just chuck one to me. I spent 97 grand on my transition. That's pretty wicked. 3 more grand, and I could have bought a power cable from Jay's Audio Lab. That's funny. Super interesting, and I'd love to ask you questions about it, but I'm sure that's very personal, and I don't want to ask personal things. But that first statement, that first sentence, I'm fascinated. I've already got 50 questions. So I won't do it right now, but I would love to ask questions about it. It's pretty, it's fascinating to me. Absolutely fascinating. With the success of AEGD, why aren't there more Class D amplifiers using GaN MOSFETs? There will be. Everybody else is behind the curve. AGD was the first ones on the. They were the very first amp to have GaN. So they will. At one point, GaN will be the only thing available, I believe. And the newest AGD amps are both GaN amplifiers and GaN power supplies. That's new for the latest AGDs. GaN power supply and GaN outputs, or GaN amps. Absolutely. Once the robots can do things like plumbing, those fields will become so profitable. Investment firms will invest heavily. Yeah, that would make sense, wouldn't it? They're not going to have to pay anybody. And then, I mean, think of the lack of mistakes, a robot will make. What's an interesting point, I mentioned this to Andreas from Playback, and he said, yeah, but those robots are going to have to be fixed. What happens when they break down? So that's interesting to think of. How reliable will the robots be? And will they, and then if there's 2 of them there, can one fix the other one? I'm sure they would be able to. But yeah, everything will become, all the companies, all the corporations, it will be a new era for the corporate America. They will all, none of them will have a workforce of humans eventually, right? If they can help it. If they don't need a human, they're going to replace it with something that can work 24 hours a day and needs no food, doesn't have any family, doesn't have period, doesn't have whatever, so yeah, they'll be much more profitable. That's when we buy stock. Why do beforehand? We buy the stock now, knowing what's going to happen, right? Buy stock in plumbing companies. Why do the few artists that are still able to sell platinum numbers of physical? Why do the few artists still able in albums in their 20s, CDs, and even Prince couldn't sell CDs later in his career, but he could sell out arenas. Why do the few artists that are still able to sell platinum numbers of physical CDs and albums? What's the question? I can't get it. Why do the few artists that are still able to can you clarify? Are you saying why are they still able to sell platinum numbers of physical CDs? Are there any current musical artists that sell platinum numbers of physical compact discs?
Yes, actually, there are still some big name artists managing to hit platinum numbers with physical CDs. For instance, Taylor Swift recently did it with her album, The Tortured Poets Department, selling a huge number of physical copies. So while it's definitely less common nowadays, some major artists are still pulling it off.
Where's the most common place that people play CDs?
Yeah, these days, I think the most common place people end up putting CDs is probably in their car if they still have a CD player in there. Some folks also have a dedicated CD player at home or a stereo system, but cars are probably the go to spot for popping in a CD these days.
Are any current cars available with a CD player?
So, as of 2024, it's getting pretty rare to find new cars with a CD player. Most manufacturers have phased them out, but there are still a few holdouts. For instance, the Isuzu D-Max truck is one of the few new vehicles that still offers a CD player. So, if you really want that feature, you can still find it, but it's definitely becoming a bit of a rare bird.
What's your prediction for what year the CD will become extinct?
Ooh, that's a fun little crystal ball question. Honestly, I think CDs will probably hang around in some niche form for collectors and special editions for quite a while. But if we're talking about when they might become pretty much extinct as a mainstream format, maybe in the next 10 to 15 years. Streaming and digital formats have taken over so much, but hey, there will probably always be a few holdouts, keeping the CD alive a bit longer.
What do you see as the future for vinyl records?
Yeah, so vinyl records have kind of had this amazing resurgence, and I think that's going to keep growing for a while. They've become this really beloved physical format for collectors and music lovers who want that tangible experience. I think we'll see vinyl sticking around as a sort of premium, nostalgic option for a long time, kind of like the way physical books have stuck around. So, yeah, I think vinyl's got a pretty bright future.
I don't.
Haha, fair enough. Not everyone's convinced about vinyl's staying power, and that's totally cool. Whether it's
Whatever. Okay, so that's cool. So ChatGPT thinks that there's a bright future for vinyl. I don't, but that's cool. Maybe she knows something I don't. She knows a lot of things I don't. Okay, so I'm not sure your question, but those were interesting. Can't play FLAC on an iPhone, only AIFF. Okay, what about Android? Hey, Mikey and Tribe, sending our love to all of you. I'm curious, Mikey and Tribe, what is your go-to favorite tunes that you go to when you are getting presses time to play your rig? I'm playing Leonard Cohen. Oh, wow, that's a trip, man. I'm gonna make a admission. Leonard Cohen drives me nuts, man. I can't listen to that dude. It's like this getting into my ear. That's what I hear. It's like some big old hairy man is like coming up onto my back and like got his mouth in my ear, like breathing his hot, steamy air into my ear. It just, Leonard Cohen, I can't handle Leonard Cohen, but that's cool. That's cool. What that you go to when you're getting presses time? What does that mean? When you're getting presses time to play your ring? Precious time? Um, my go-to favorite tunes. Um, I don't know, man. When I go to my rig, I don't listen to the same tunes over and over. So it's not like I've got favorite tunes that I pop in and then it's like I'm going to listen to this tune. I'm going to listen to this tune again. I'm going to listen to this tune again. Not at all. My listening sessions are different, you know. There's some things that kind of come back, like for instance, like Doors Riders on the Storm or something like that. There's a certain mood that you're like, I want to hear Riders on the Storm. It's got a certain feeling and a certain vibe, right? Um, there's sometimes you want to hear Zeppelin, you know, um, going to California, or something like that. Um, Mamas and the Papas, California Dreamin', that's like a rainy day song, California Dreamin'. Um, just different things for different kind of moods. Um, what were we listening today? I remember yesterday we were listening to Hendrix. We were listening to some guitar. Today we were listening to Zappa. But we were going for guitar stuff. I had a guitarist over, and so I was playing electric guitar for him. Byron, we've already had a pandemic, high probability of an economic collapse. Um, yeah, that means everything goes on sale, bro. I'm ready for it. So the people that, it's like knowing that there's a high probability. I agree. There is a high probability. So I got my cheese stacked, bro. I'm ready to fucking pounce on some shit. Trust me, when the ass falls out, I'm buying and I'm ready. I've been waiting for this. Ever since 2008. 2008, I got caught with my pants down, and I almost lost the business. That's when I created the flat cables and all that shit because I had to invent something to outweigh the slowdown, which I did. But this time around, man, and I said, "Oh, that this will never happen." I saw the market, I saw the stocks, I saw what houses were selling for, I saw all that stuff, and I'm like, my God, if I had cash right now, I could scoop shit from people that are leveraged, So this time around, I'm on the other side of it. I'm be ready. I'm gonna be ready. My kid did want a record player. Okay, it was funny watching him trying to understand it the first time he saw my turntable. He's 24 and has his own rig now with a bunch of rap albums. Okay, that's cool. Right on, man. I don't have kids, so I don't know. My guess would be they wouldn't want to do it. Primarily for people who do business in cash. Um, what the what was it? Oh, the bank bag. Yeah, right. Yeah. Yeah, right. Yeah, if you're doing like jewelers and shit like that, they got to carry their stuff out, you know, um meaning favorite go-to music at this time and space. Oh, okay. So you're talking about like what's the go-to been recently? Um I just listened the last couple of days because I've had, I'm not in a listening mode these days. I prefer to go out, ride my motorcycle. I'm doing a lot of outside stuff. Um, being outside. So, but we were listening to Hendrix. We were listening to um Spooky Tooth. We were listening to it just always changes, I don't really have go-to music. It's right now that I go to each day. Um every single day it's different, a different feeling and a different music, Um yeah, so I don't know. And who else? Man, I'm not the only one. Some other people speak up. 125K on audio is so easy to do. It really is. Hopefully it will pay off in the long run. Well, it is. I mean, I pride myself on people feeling like they absolutely got their money's worth. And that's been happening. People absolutely feel they got their money's worth, and then they're happy. People don't buy CDs anymore. They use streaming service. That's what I thought. But someone just said that the artists sell out platinum, and that means a lot of people that like Taylor Swift have old cars. That's what that tells me. a lot of people that like Taylor Swift have old ass cars, because if they're playing that shit in their car mostly, and she sold a platinum number of CDs, then there's a lot of people with old cars that are listening to Taylor Swift. That's what I put two and two together. You know, the guys with the brand new Porsches aren't listening to CDs in their car. And anybody with brand new cars aren't listening to CDs in their car, unless it's a, what did they say, Nissan, or like some sort of fucking Isuzu truck. What AI is that? Chat GPT. So car manufacturers actually help get rid of CDs. Yeah, I guess. Well, not anymore. It's the old cars that play them, right? But it's a way to, the new cars don't even, you just stream, you just plug your damn phone into it and you play what's on your phone. That's what the new cars do. Or you Bluetooth your phone, even newer. I got a few CDs stuck in my 6 CD changer in my Lexus S300 manual. Nice. Gave that car away. It's in Florida. CDs in your car sucks. Yeah, totally, dude. I mean, Rach, think about that. I say dude to everybody. I just don't want to, I know you worked hard on that, so don't take it wrong. Peblink, an AI phone should play AAC and ALAC. Okay. iPhone can play FLAC via Tidal in offline mode. Okay, cool. Absolute Sound YouTube did a review on Stone speakers. Curious what they think of Fisher and Fisher Slate. Who knows, bro? They're not getting any, you know. The thing is, like, here's how it works, Byron. And I thought most everybody understood this. Okay. So they're going to talk about Acora, and they're going to talk about the people that advertise with them. Okay. They're going to talk about the guys that get the biggest rooms at the shows, because those are the people that pay for advertising. It's a good old, you heard Mark Levinson call it the audio mafia. Okay. So if we want to play there, if I want them to talk good about Fisher and Fisher, all I have to do is give them money. Okay. But fuck them. Okay, that's my attitude about it. I don't need to give you money. I can do what you do. I can promote it. I don't need your magazine to promote it. I'm just as good a promoter as you are. That's what I think when I look at the magazines. In fact, I think I'm a better promoter. I get young people, and your magazine doesn't. So I don't want to engage. What it means is I start buying ads for Fisher and Fisher in their magazines. That's all we do. We sign on for them. We put a Fisher and Fisher ad in the magazine, and it's in there every month. And once I've paid for a year up front or whatever, then I ask them to do a review for me. I'd like you to do a review for me. No problem. They'll do it. Okay. If I continue to place ads, I've been placing ads now for like 5 years, and I put one in every month. I continually do ads, and it's been 5 years. They're going to give me product of the year. They're going to give me accolades. They're going to pimp me, okay? Because I'm feeding them. So knowing that, for people in the know, we don't value the reviews. We don't value them. Playback Designs doesn't do shit in the magazines. They don't send anything to reviewers. They don't fuck with it because they don't need to. Jeff Rowland doesn't do it. Nat Audio doesn't do it. Audio Analog doesn't do it. Fisher and Fisher doesn't do it. I'm with the group of we don't play that game. Typically speakers and things that need help, that can't win a crowd over on their own accolades. They need money. They need these guys to, to say something good about them, and then who's going to be listening? Who listens to Absolute Sound on YouTube? That old dude, Tom, whatever his name is, guy. I mean, it's like, who's his audience, dude? Do they even buy? I mean, it's like, it's not my group, it's not my group. So I'm not sending them Fisher. Aaron wanted Fisher and Fishers. I told Fisher, no, don't send him to any of these guys. We don't need anybody poking around in our shit, trying to figure it, trying to, measure them and then make their own damn story about whatever. You see Danny, slagging everything that he gets his hands on that isn't his own speakers, and so why would you put your product out there to for them to use to leverage to sell their own shit, right? And they all work together. There's the audio mafia, which is the old school in the magazines, and then you got the modern audio mafia, which are the YouTube channels that work together. One guy measures, okay, one guy sells kits, one guy reviews, and they work together. So first you bring in something, the guy measures, he says it measures like shit. The other guy creates a kit for it, and then the third guy reviews it and says, it's great or not, or whatever. Or they make their own thing and brand it. So there's a new audio mafia, and it's just not in print, it's now on YouTube. So everybody works together. So Absolute Sound is the good old boy network, and I can make them say good things by paying them. So I don't value what they say. So their words mean nothing to me. Taylor Swift fans pay $40 for her latest LPs from Hot Topic. Teens buying her stuff. They don't even do shit with it. They probably just buy it and look at it. Third-party car receivers still offer CDs, I believe. Oh, yeah, that's an interesting thought. Yes, yeah. He's talking about when you do your car stereo and you want to upgrade, that they sell you a CD player. I don't want to say I'm as smart as ChatGPT, but I told you so, Mikey. RE vinyl. That's cool. No, I mean it doesn't matter to me, really. It doesn't matter. I mean, it's not like I need to be right. I don't care. I can be wrong all day long about vinyl. It doesn't matter to me. Um, I love him. He's my totally favorite musical artist. Far out. I got to meet him in the 80s. We were smoking Camel cigarettes and drank 3 beers with Leonard Cohen at the Various Positions concert. Okay, so tell me, Kenny or Deborah Lee, tell me, what album should I listen to? Give me the album and maybe 1 or 2 songs for somebody that you want to turn on to Leonard Cohen, because I don't know his music. So tell me which one to start with. What is the starter album, to turn me on to it, and then I'll try it and let's see. Maybe I dig it. And I wonder, you know, how much of your love for him has to do with hanging out. Because sometimes you meet somebody and you're like, oh, this guy's really cool, so I like his music. It's just like you meet somebody, this guy's super cool. I'd like to buy his art, because I like the guy. So, what was he your favorite musical artist before you met him? Don't forget to tell your banker you use cash in your acquisition of hi-fi equipment. Why? They don't need to know what I use cash for, you know? I don't have stone speakers, so I get stoned and listen to speakers. Totally. I watch Absolute Sound videos. I used to read that magazine back in the day, haha, but I hate Wilson speakers, so they would not like me. Yeah, it's kind of the way it goes. All right, well, it's 2 hours and 23 minutes, so I'm going to sign off. Thank you all for joining, and I will see you on Wednesday for another edition of The Mikey Show. Thanks for joining. See you.